Hello and welcome to Portugal. We are going to rebuild Braga and see if we can topple the top three in Portugal in the form of Benfica, Porto and Sporting. Braga have got a very high reputation as well. That's pretty good. And the status financially is secure. We are disabling the first window as per usual. And the club has had the best spell during the 2010s. And the last competition win coming as recently as 2021. They're a club with a growing history. Finished runners-up in the Portuguese top division for only the first time in 2010 and finishing runners-up in the UEFA Europa League in 2011 and winning the Portuguese Cup in 1966, 2016 and 21 and finished second best 4 further times. They did finish runners-up in the Super Cup several times as well. So they haven't won the league. Founded in 1921, so just over 100 years old. So it's quite reasonably very young team. And our task is to win the league ahead of the top three. Favoured formation of 4-4-2. I can get on board with that with Banza, Ruiz, Bruma, Racic, Maserati, Pizzi, Sequeira, Oliveira, Tomena, Victor and Mateus in goal. To be perfectly honest, don't think I know very much about any of these players. Maybe an odd few like Racic and Ruiz possibly. Director or the board, they want us to develop players using the youth system, play attacking football and sign players under the age of 23. So that's going to be a task and a half, but as you've seen in recent rebuilds, we have been managing to do that. So hopefully we will continue it. Want us to grow the club's reputation, sign young players to develop for profit, sign players to sell for profit and work within the budget, become recognised as the best of the rest, reach the latter stages of the Portuguese Cup and be competitive in Europe. Well, obviously we want to go one step further than that and we want to challenge, which they want us to do by the end of next season. So if we can do that in the next couple of seasons or next 5 seasons, challenge for that title in the top 3, if we can break up that monopoly, then it'll be a job well done. Looking at the staff first, that looks pretty reasonable. I can't argue too much about that. Very much so above average. Same with the recruitment team and just averaging on the medical staff. So hopefully we'll bring in some more staff there as well. If we have a look at our squad, if we have just a look at the better players, hopefully some contracts do not need renewing this earlier on. But we've got a 26-year-old Maserati. Looks pretty solid. And that's very nice indeed, actually. A DM or maybe we'll go with the 4-4-2, which I'm probably more liking to rather than a DM role. But we might need to move to that, depending on what sort of players we have. Horta as well, 27-year-old. Looks, again, pretty decent. Wow, stats-wise, look very nice. See, he can play on the wings. So this is where it could get difficult. So do we have 2 players in midfield, a DM and 2 wingers? Racic as well, 24-year-old Serbian. If we can hang on to him, £8 million, I think that'd be quite nice. Medeiros, 27-year-old. Winger on the other side, or he can play in the cam role. So again, wingers look like the way to go rather than a 4-4-2. Tomena, 26-year-old. Defender, wow, okay. 6'4". Jump, head, mark, positioning, tackling probably needs a little bit of work on. Going for another year, so we'll have to work on the contract for that. Mateus, the goalkeeper, 29, probably coming into his to his best form now. Looks pretty decent. Reflexes, rushing out, one-on-ones, not too bad. Kicking, communication, aerial reach. Probably a goalkeeper may look to replace at some point, but not just yet. He's got 5 years left on his contract. May even stick with him yet. Lucas Pizion, again, looks pretty decent. If they wanted a 4-4-2, why did they not keep him? He's 28 years old though. On loan and he's got a few years left in him. Let's have a look at some potential. 19-year-old Mendes. Midfielder, right, or wing. Or right back even. Okay, some potential there. Quite a bit of potential. Maybe we use him straight off the bat. They want us to develop youngsters, don't they? So he could be that player. Finances, they have got 13 million in the bank. And have they got any debts? £29 million in debt, so £15 million net debt. Okay, that's not too bad. These will all finish by the time we come to the end of the rebuild, the last one being this £16 million one, the bigger one. So let's figure out a formation and we'll come back and show you what we've done. So after a bit of mixing and matching, we've come up with this formation. It's not one of my favourite ones. I don't like using the DM, it has to be said. But however, this is quite effective. So it's the normal default 4-3-3 DM wide one, with just a couple of changes, but apart from that, everything is the same. I don't think there's that much of a change, actually, to be fair. Maybe we switched one to inside forward instead of support. It was we put him to attack him. And we're only playing Ruiz up top with Rakic and Mateus the goalkeeper. I was going to put the youngster, the 19-year-old in that position, but we have got other good players in that position anyway. So we'll see what happens next season. We may promote him next season if he gets some game time. But for those that are interested in possession, these are the tactics. Actually playing through the middle here, so that's surprising, but it seems to be working so far. In transition, counter press, distribute to the centre backs and take short kicks, and out of possession, playing a high line and preventing the goalkeeper distribution. And so far, so good. Just that one loss in the league against VTSC, 1-0 away from home. Although saying that, we've played 3 away games in the first 4, so we've done well to come out with 3 victories. A 4-2 victory over Ferreira, 1-0 over Praia, and MRT we beat 4-1. Our pre-season was fantastic. I mean, it's really really good, especially the 4-0 victory over Monaco and the 3-2 over Lens and Clermont as well in France. So really happy about that. We are lying, however, 5th in the table. That's because we're on 9 points for having lost that one game. It's Benfica, Porto and Arouca who are 4 for 4 apart from Arouca. And Benfica actually lost a game. So it's only Porto 4 for 4. Sporting haven't lost a game, but they have drawn 4. Porto beat Benfica and Benfica beat Arouca as well. It's tit for tat over there up at the top. We have drawn Feyenoord, Hearts and CFR Cluj in the Europa League. So hopefully we'll do well in that. And the rest of the competitions there. So let's have a look, see where we are predicted to finish. It is in 4th position behind Benfica, Porto and Sporting. So it suggests that we are predicted to be the best of the rest. But we don't want to do that. We want to get into this part here. And to do that, we need to start taking players off the opposition, because we haven't got any in the Dream 11 as yet. So without any further ado, let's get our first season underway and come back and see how well we've done. Well, that was kind of unexpected. We finished in 3rd position and in the Champions League spot. Whether or not that's actually qualifying rounds or not, I don't know. But 3rd position, we break into the top 3. Sporting have dropped all the way down to 6th position. However, we are still some way off Benfica and Porto. And I do believe in the season just past as well in real life, Braga did finish 3rd there as well. So we've done exactly what they've done in real life. So I'm really pleased with that. There's still a long way to go and a lot of work to be done. If we can maintain this top 3, maybe 2nd or maybe even win the league, that will be fantastic. But it is Porto that run away with it with 84 points. Going through some of the results then in the league. So we did have a good run with a lot of wins and a couple of losses to VTSC earlier on and Porto 3-0. We do beat Sporting 2-1, which is a good result. And did we play none of the other bigger clubs? Benfica we drew 1-1 at home. So that's not bad, leading right up to the turn of the year. A 5-0 victory over VIZ, which is a good result there as well. Not many goals being conceded also. The second half, we struggled a little bit, I'm not going to lie. It's 6-2 victory over BVT. Draw with Sporting away from home. Porto we lose 2-1. No, we lost 5-0 in the away leg. Oh, wow. But we do finish strongly. Not scoring many goals though. We did struggle second half of the season. We do get to our first final in this rebuild, the Portuguese Cup, and we play Benfica and we win 2-1. We take the lead as early as the 5th minute. What a fantastic finish that is. On the outside of the fort, curling into the far corner before we get pegged back in around about the 22nd, 23rd minutes. A good through ball. What a lovely weighted ball. Cancelo Ramos chipping it or just dinking it over the sprawling goalkeeper though. But we do get the winner in the 96th minute of it. It's not extra time, it's the added time, and thank God they didn't go any further than that. We may have struggled, and what a lovely finish that is to bring up our first trophy of the rebuild. We won all our games going into the final, a 3-1 win after extra time in the third round. We do beat Vienese 5-0 in the fourth, 3-0 against SAD, 3-2 against PTM, and Viz, or VIZ, we beat 2-0, 1-0 in each of the two legs. And then Benfica in the final. What a victory, and what a run as well. Fantastic stuff. I'm happy already. Europa League is a different story. We do get through to the next round of 16, however, with a 7-6 victory over Dortmund, losing 2-1 in the away leg and 6-4 in the second leg. Going into extra time, and it is a 115th minute winner from Abel Ruiz. That is fantastic, but we do get beat by Lazio, only just 2-1 in each of the legs, making it a 4-2 loss in the end. The League Cup, we get through to the quarter-final after getting through the group stages. We beat BVT, Turinese, National de Madeira and SAD without conceding a goal, and then we concede our only goal against Benfica in the quarterfinals in the 39th minute. And it was actually Benfica who played Porto in the final, and Benfica taking it 1-0. So how did our squad fare? So a lot of players getting a lot of game time and a few goals. 26 goals for Ruiz, who was our striker at 23 years old. I want to try and keep him there if we can. Medeiros, wow, he's injured at the moment, but 15 goals, 20 assists. That's phenomenal. Banza, who is our other striker, maybe we should have played him up front, see what happens. 14 goals, 3 assists. He only played 12 and then coming off the bench in 34 games. 11 and 12 up for Horta, and Ricardo Horta, 9 and 6 as well. So the two Hortas, I'm wondering if they're brothers or not. It's all leading that way. And Racic, 8 and 6 in 55 games. It's not that great though, to be fair. Maybe he played in DM role, which is quite impressive if that is the case. So going into next season, £1 million. It's not an awful lot, and £10,000 in wages. So we may have to sell in order to bring in. But it is it's going to be a challenge, that's for sure. Our first signing is Anderson Arroyo. Centre back can be left back, right back. £3.8 million in total from Liverpool. Sporting let Jose Marsa come to us on loan. We're hoping to buy him next season. A centre back, a lot of potential. Hopefully he'll break into the first team and be with us, like I say, next season. And we paid Benfica £2.8 million for Thiago Dantas, the 22-year-old midfielder. Looks absolutely stunning. Overall, £8 million spent. It doesn't seem a lot really when you think we brought in nearly £30 million. The deal with Ricardo Horta was really surprising. I don't know who made the deal with him, but of that £26 million, 20 million went to a third party, and a further half of what was left went to somebody else. Malaga got a lot of money. I think we just gained out of him not even £1 million. So out of that £26 million, we got nothing from him. And that was so disappointing when the deal came through. But whoever made the original deal for up to 75% of the sale going to a third party, I've just got, I'm at a loss. But we say goodbye to Oliveira as well for 2.4 million going to Galatasaray. Sequeira goes to Montpellier for 775,000. Pizzi goes to Al Rayyan for 550,000, and Ricardo Rey goes to Famalicão for £11,750. A few people going out on free and a lot going out on loan as well. So no change to the formation. We're going to have Horta, the other one, Andre. He's going to be playing on that left-hand side. He's currently injured, annoying. Banza's going to take the top position as striker. Dantas in the centre. Arroyo at left back, and Marza at the back. And it hasn't gone too bad. We haven't lost many games. We've drawn too many for my liking. We were in the Super Cup. We lost to Porto 2-1. And in the league, we drew with Estoril Praia 0-0. We beat Aruca 2-1 and then lost to Benfica 1-0. But we are in the Champions League. We get past the third qualifying round, winning 5-2 against Charleroi. And then Panathinaikos, we see them 3-0 over the 2 legs. So currently we're lying in 8th position. Not the best position to be in, but it looks like we're concentrating on the Champions League. Arsenal, Dortmund and Austria Vienna. If we get out of that group, I'll be amazed. The Portuguese League, we have BVT and Lexos. And just to see where we are in the season preview. 25-1, 4th. It was a real hard window. Very disappointing we couldn't get players like we wanted to. £1 million wasn't enough. And then we only had a transfer revenue of 43%. So we lost a lot of money. So let's simulate our second season, see if we can build on our 3rd position last season and see if we can break into the top 2. Season 2 finishes and we finish in 5th position. We're in a Conference League position anyway, so we qualify for that. We do finish on 64 points, same number of points as Sporting this time, although they do have a better goal difference, which I'm assuming is why they finished above us. And due to losing the last 2 games in the last 5 matches, we do take the hit of finishing 5th. Otherwise, we could have finished in 3rd position. Porto and Benfica are there running away with it once again. So quickly looking at our league results then, we didn't do too bad up until November. And then December, we take 3 losses on the bounce without scoring a goal as well. But we do bounce back in January with a 5-0 win over Chavez. Estaro Praia, who finished 2nd, didn't they? They beat us 2-0, but we do have a very good run for a few months. We didn't play any of the bigger teams though, which is unfortunate. Would have been nice time to play them, but them 2 losses there. So 3 losses in the last 4 months kind of ruined it a little bit though, but losing to Porto, drawing with Sporting though, and losing to Casapia 1-0. Our away form is shocking, it has to be said, although we did lose to VTSC and Porto at home further in the season. We do get to the final of the Portuguese Cup where we won it last season. We come runners up this season, losing 3-2 in extra time to Sporting, where we do score 2 late goals to drag it into extra time, but a 94th win from Trincao of Sporting seals the deal. But along the way we do beat Castrodare 5-0. We beat VVT on penalties after a 0-0 draw. PTM we win 3-2. We beat Benfica in extra time 4-3. Good result that one. And Chavez 2-1 over the 2 legs in the semi-final. Another final, but unfortunately not winning it. The League Cup we get as far as the semi-final. We bow out to Porto, who were the eventual league winners as well. 3-2 in that one in the semis after beating BVT and Lixes as well. The Champions League though, we do get to the round of 16 after qualifying after 1 loss to Dortmund in the first game. We do beat Austria Vienna. We beat Arsenal, draw with Arsenal in the home leg, 2-2 with Vienna as well, and we beat Dortmund towards the end. So that must have finished us up in top spot. Wow, that's a shock. I didn't expect that at all. But that's quite good. We can compete with the best. But we do lose to Real San Sebastian 4-0 over the 2 legs in the round of 16. Our squad then, Banza scores 22 goals with 5 assists, 13 for Horta. But apart from that, we really struggled for goals and assists as well by looks of things. If we have a quick look, nobody reached double figures in assists. Apart from Piazon, the 30-year-old Brazilian. 7 goals with 11 assists. That's not bad going at all, actually, to be fair. Thiago Sá, he did play 30 games with 38 conceded. And Mateus, he conceded 22-24. So what happened with Mateus? Injured. We lost Mateus in December for 6 months. Damaged cruciate ligaments, which he's still recovering from. Hence why we had Thiago Sá in goal. So that will explain why Sá played as many games as he did. We have been given £10 million. Now, is that due to our escapades in Europe? If that's the case, we need to get back in and doing well in Europe again. And our wages per week has gone up as well. So that's going to be pretty good. We may be able to tie down some players that we don't want to lose. That's going to help immensely. So let's go ahead and do that. Let's spend some of this money, if not all of it, and maybe more, and see if we can improve the side once again. We start off with £6 million signing Abner Vinicius, left back. Felt that we were very short on that side, and our players just aren't progressing or developing as quick as I would like. So we had to bring in somebody pretty decent, and they're only 24 years old, one to last a few years to come. We bring in goalkeeper Joan Garcia. I did say that we needed to look at another option, only £6 million from Espanyol, and in the end we did bring in Jose Marsa from Sporting. He had a good season last season. He looks pretty good as well, 22 years old. Definitely one for the future and one we can work around at the back. £11 million though, majority of our budget. So overall £22 million spent, which is quite a lot. We did lose £20 million worth of talent, mainly in the name of Mateus. We lost our goalkeeper, hence why we had to bring Joan Garcia in. Aston Villa came up with 17.25 million. The board said, yes, okay, we've got to accept that. Why, I don't know, because again, like with the transfer in the last season, where we'd hardly got any of the big amount, we got the same again this time. I think we came out with about £4 million out of the 17. Why we do these stupid deals, I've got no idea. So very disappointed. We also lose Roger Fernandez, a youngster. He was only 18 years old. We brought him to the first team, and great potential on him actually. West Ham picked him up for £2.5 million. However, we're going to go a little bit different this season. We're going to go more attacking. I feel that's the way to go. We're defending quite well, and with the addition of Marsa and Vinicius at the back and a pretty decent goalkeeper, I think we can do the job without anybody else in the DM role. So we're pushing that into a cam role. Banzer's going to continue up top, and we've got a lot of players who can play in this main area of the pitch. And that's how it's gone so far. We've won every single game up until towards the end of August. Then we drew with Porto, Jar Gardens, a draw, and Gil Vicente 1-1 as well. But we are through to the Conference League phase now. We did play Shelbourne. We thrashed them 5-1 over the two legs. We played Tobil. We won that 4-0 over the two legs, and Jar Gardens, the 3-0 first leg victory, helped us go through after a 2-2 draw away. The Conference League, we play Galatasaray, Rijeka, Flora, Horgon, OFI and AIK. I think that's 6 games we get to play. I think we have to finish in the top 24 to qualify. Yes, we do. And we've drawn Benfica and Lexos in the Portuguese League Cup as well. And currently we are in 4th position, which isn't too bad. Not losing the game in the first 4, which is nice, especially when we played Porto in one of them games. The season preview has our odds cut down to 20-1 this time. We're now 4th position. Media prediction with Benfica, Porto and Sporting ahead of us. So we're getting closer. And are any of our players in this Dream 11? No, they're not. So let's go ahead and simulate our 3rd season and see how we get on. We clamber back to 3rd spot, and in the Europa League, it looks like we've lost a Champions League spot as well for the league. So Europa League it is. But we do finish 3rd, so we're breaking that monopoly up again. Sporting finishing outside the European places, down in 6th position. So league form then, we were unbeaten up until the Gil Vicente game, and then we lost straight after to Benfica. We get back to winning ways, then losing a couple of other games where we would expect to win, and I would have thought a 4-1 battering there. But we do find a little bit of form of winning all our games in January, conceding only 2 goals, and that was in 1 game. We do beat Porto 2-0 at home, and then go on to lose 3-1 unexpectedly away from home. Then we lose to Benfica. Find a little bit of form again, a couple of draws. No wins for quite a while. And then we finished strongly to get us into that 3rd position. But we struggled towards the end of the season there. We do get to the final of the Portuguese Cup once again. And this time we lose to Porto 2-1. We didn't lose a game all the way through either. Quite some big scores in there as well. Benfica we beat in semi-finals 4-2 overall, but Porto take it after we had a player sent off, and trying to get one back with 10 minutes to go just was not enough. The League Cup, we don't even get out of the group phase. Wow, okay, wow, what happened? Benfica beat us 3-1, win there, penalties win there, 3rd phase, Group C. Wow, okay. That's disappointing once again, not very far in the cups. The Conference League, however, in Europe, we did get all the way to the quarter-finals, losing to Galatasaray by the odd goal in that 2-1 loss away from home. But how did we fare other than that? So we qualified right up to the league phase, losing one game against Rijeka 4-1. We do beat Galatasaray, annoyingly enough, at home. We just couldn't beat them at home in the quarterfinals. But a 6-1 victory at Flora, Pogon 2-0, OFI 2-1, 4-0 against AIK. Not bad. Ghent, we lose 3-1 in the away leg, but win 3-1 and then on penalties at the home. But just unfortunate we couldn't get any further. But a good showing in Europe once again though. Squad-wise, 36 goals by Banza. Not bad in 59 games. 15 for Medeiros, 14 for Ruiz. Horto weighs in with 11 and 10 for Mora as well. That's pretty decent. That's what I expect to see from my players up at the top. So attacking-wise, we don't think we have a problem. We're just not scoring enough goals though, in my reckoning. Assist-wise, 4 players in double figures: Medeiros, Horto, Ruiz and Vinicius with 10 assists. Fantastic. And Sosa with 9, Dantes with 8. They've done reasonably well, and a goalkeeper, Garcia, did pretty well. 57 goals conceded in 57 games. That's not bad at all. So what are they going to be giving us this season, I wonder? £7 million. We've got £20 million in the bank. £7 million to play with. I'm sure we can do something with that. We'll have to change this transfer percentage as well. So let's see if we can ask them to raise that increased percentage of transfer revenue. See if they'll do that. Hopefully we'll get closer to 100% by the end of the season. 5 maybe. But yeah, £7 million. So let's go and spend this. Just the one signing then this window. Gil Martin comes in as a right winger. A little bit shy on that side, and we thought we'd bring in some more bodies in, namely just the one. £13.5 million though from Porto. So with that early spending, we did have some free transfers, but they were for the youth teams. A few people going out as well. We lose Carlos, who goes to Granada for $950,000. Joe Mendes, the youngster who did have a lot of potential, really didn't live up to it. AIK have got him for $425,000. Infande as well, gone to Visu for $400,000. Sakchi gone to Adana. I'm not sure how you pronounce that. I do apologise in advance. £400,000. Gonzalo goes to Gil Vicente for $240,000. And Sar's gone to PSG for £37,500. A few people going out on loan, but that is about it. Not a lot in the transfer window at all. It was a real hard one this time. Apparently overspent on our wages, so we really struggled to get anybody in that would take a massive drop. They were demanding £20,000 to £30,000. We couldn't get anybody in, so really struggled this window. Hopefully the last window won't be as bad. Fingers crossed. So far though, it hasn't gone too bad. We're unbeaten in the pre-season. We have won the Super Cup though. We beat Porto 5-3 after extra time. Banza getting 2 goals in the extra time, 98th and 113th minute. And I do believe that we were winning in this game as well. I think 2-0 up to be pegged back, or 3-1 up actually to be pegged back. 80th minute equaliser there to make it 3-3, and then we took over in the extra time. So another trophy to go alongside our Portuguese Cup. The league started with a defeat against Benfica, disappointingly. 89th minute winner there, very disappointing. But we do bounce back with a 2-1 victory over Rio Ave. Gil Vicente we beat 4-1 and 3-2 against Chavez as well. The Europa League, we pick up Rennes, Ferencváros, CSKA Sofia, Liga, Marseille and PAOK, Brøndby and Hearts. I would like to think that we can get past the qualifying stage in that one. We are lying in 4th position at the moment. Just that one loss, 3 points behind Porto, who are 4-4. And in the Portuguese League Cup, we have drawn Vicente and Ferreira. Season preview still has us down in 4th position, 20-1, although Sporting have dropped their ratings. They're now 13-2. So we could finally catch up with them next season, depending on a couple of signings, if we manage to pull off some worldies. But we'll see what happens. Still nobody in the Dream 11, disappointingly. So let's go and simulate our 4th season. See where we come, and hopefully we'll bring some more success. Seem to have done very well for ourselves, finishing 3rd once again. 74 points. That is huge. That's a massive difference to our first season even. That's 9 points more. I think we reached 65 in our first season. Benfica win it though. Sporting just above us, and Porto we destroy ahead of them by 6 points. But between the top three, there's only 3 points in it. We could have quite easily have won the league. If we just have a close look of what teams we lost. Sporting twice and Benfica. All it took was for one of them results to go our way, and we might have got into at least second spot. That's a very, very good good finish to the season. Very good standings indeed. And Ruiz is leading goal scorer for the league as well. That is fantastic. He's really come a long way, the youngster has, hasn't he, really? And Horta gets 10 assists in the league as well. But look at that, we occupy the top 3 places in the yellow cards, so that's something. So not many losses this season, 4 in fact. Let's have a look. We did lose our first game to Benfica, clearly. Sporting we lost to, but we do have some close calls in there, a couple of 1-0s. We carry on our unbeaten run from December right through to the end of March, where we lose to Sporting again, and then quickly thereafter Vizu. That could have really, I think that probably has cost us actually, that defeat there, 2-0 away from home. But Benfica we draw 1-1 with. Porto we beat 3-2 away from home. Do we beat them earlier on again? Maybe? I'm trying to find Porto. Where are you? 3-0 last game of the season. We almost nicked it. That's a really, really good season. That's really impressive. No big scores in there, though, unfortunately. Continuing our unbeaten form against Porto this season, we play them in the Portuguese Cup final, and we beat them 2-0 with 2 goals from Ruiz, setting us on our way for another fantastic win in this competition. I think that's our second win in this rebuild in this competition, which is phenomenal, including a runners-up spot as well. Oh, what a fantastic header against the post. But a good follow-up as well before Porto get 1 goal back with about 10 minutes to go to make it a little bit uneasy for us. But a 2-1 victory all the same, and a trophy to boot. Along the way, we did beat Lusitania Larusso 4-1, 4-0 against Pombal. National de Madeira 4-1. We did beat Benfica on penalties after a 1-1 draw. Then Estoril we beat 5-1 in the semi-final, and then winning that. So clean sweep. We played Porto again in another final, this time the League Cup final, and we score in the first half a minute. There it is, 29 seconds on the clock. Maserati giving us the lead and the victory. Porto not doing well against us this season at all, are they? But Ferreira, we win 3-1. Vicente, we win 3-1 as well. Benfica, we beat 2-1. So we're doing well against the big clubs in the cup competitions. We just need to overcome them in the league. That's 3 trophies, I think, this season. The Portuguese Cup, the Super Cup, and now the League Cup as well. We get to the quarterfinals of the Europa League, losing out to Frankfurt on penalties after 2 1-1 draws. But getting there, in the league phase, we drew with Rennes 1-1, Ferencváros 4-0, 3-0 against Sofia, 3-1 against Legia. Marseille we draw. We do lose to PAOK, but wins over Brøndby and Hearts see us through. I'm guessing we finished top of the table. No, we didn't. We finished in 6th position, straight through to the round of 16. Frankfurt, however, 8 for 8. Newcastle are there also, and Leeds. We did play Hajduk, and we beat them 6-2 over the 2 legs before losing to the quarter-finals. And it was Leeds, actually, that beat Roma in the final 1-0. Our squad, however, look at Ruiz. Wow. 51 goals in 57. That's what we have been missing. Martins, 16 goals, 9 assists. Phenomenal for the 20-year-old. Horta as well, 14 and 16 at 29. He's still got a few years left in fact, he's got 1 more year left in him. We have got a lot of youngsters coming through the ranks as well, but that is pretty good. 3 players reaching double figures, which is nice. Assist-wise, well, 19 for Medeiros. Wow! He's got 1 season left in him. For the 31-year-old, it's going to be pretty hard to find a replacement for him, I'm guessing. Horta there with 16 assists, like I say, and Dantas with 10 next season. Wow. Despite winning all them cups, finishing in 3rd, £3 million. It's going to be a lot more difficult, I think, and in the meantime, we are going to request that they increase the transfer revenue. 88% is not quite 100, but next season they're giving a £1 million out guaranteed. So we need to do some magic here. Maybe we don't need to change that much, I don't think. But definitely we may have to sell a big player in order to increase that transfer budget though. Pablo Barrios comes to the midfield from Atletico Madrid for £8 million. For a 23-year-old, it solidifies our midfield. Granada let go of Raul Torrente for £6.5 million, another Spaniard to sit at the back. We did lose a centre-back, so we had to find a replacement. And for £6.5 million, I think it's a pretty good bargain at 25 years old as well. And finally, for £5 million from Valencia B team, we bring in Hugo Gonzalez, a left winger, which I think we are going to be playing this season on that left-hand side at 23 years old. Got very high potential and definitely one for the future. £19.75 million spent with a few freebies. But out the door, we do say goodbye to Marsa, our centre-back. From, I think it was from Liverpool we got him from. Inter buy him for £14.7 million. Mineiro as well. He goes to Almeria for £7 million. And Medeiros as well to Olympiacos for 2.6. We only lost one game, and that was the Super Cup. We do lose it to Benfica 2-1, unfortunately. We did get one back through Martins, but it was Silva who got both goals and scored in the 71st minute to get the win. We only had a couple of friendlies which will win, Hoffenheim and Augsburg, but the league starts with 3 straight wins. A 4-1, 6-1 and a 3-0. The Europa League. In the league phase, we face Sevilla, Rangers, Rosenborg, Maccabi Haifa, Marseille, Club Brugge, Besiktas and FC20. Despite winning 3 from 3, we are 4th in the table. That's because the teams above us have played one game more. Porto are behind us on goal difference, and Benfica also behind us, having lost a game to Estoril. We have drawn PTM and Rio Ave in the Portuguese League Cup. So hopefully we'll go and defend that quite well. And let's have a look, see where we sit. And have we broken into the top 3 for media predictions? No, still 20-1. We haven't broken into that top 3. But league-wise and league position at the end of the season, we have done. So let's see if we can grab a second spot. If not, win the league after last season's very, very good finish. By heck, have we come close to winning the league. We were under no illusion that we could win the league, but we have come close in the past 2 seasons now. And this being the closest, finishing in second spot. We've broken up that monopoly of the top 3, and we've done it by just losing out by 1 point. And Ruiz becomes the leading goal scorer. I think, did he get it last season? He's got it this season for sure, but 26 goals this season. Fantastic stuff. Vinicius, best player for us in the league. He also gets 10 assists behind Grimaldo from Benfica actually. And Martins is on the list as well with 10. Garcia, 17 clean sheets. I mean, we've done very, very well as a team, and it's progressively getting better and better. And these are all young players. So let's filter through the results then. So we did have a very good start. Then we had 2 draws on the bounce, including a 4-4 draw with Gil Vicente as well. Aruca 0-0. We played Benfica. We beat them 3-2 away from home. Then lose to BVT at home. Again, games like that we should be winning, and especially Estoril Praia as well. 5-2 loss away from home. That's just insane. Then we go on a big unbeaten run right up until we played Porto, who's, wow, that was the decider, wasn't it? 5-1 hammering at that point. Despite us beating Sporting twice in the 2 games beforehand, we done really well. I mean, we did get battered in 2 games, 5-2 and a 5-1 though. That's not nice to see. But clearly, if we got something out of that game, with it being a draw, we may have won the league. We do get all the way to the final of the Portuguese Cup, trying to defend it. We lose out to Benfica 3-3, and it was on penalties. Horta and Moura missing their penalties, and Grimaldo got sent off for Benfica as well, which is disappointing that we couldn't capitalise against 10 men. But along the way, we win a 5-1, a 3-0, 2-0 after extra time against Varzim. PTM we beat. Porto, we won on away goals. That 1-1 draw, Gonzalez, our left winger, I think it is, 38th minute goal, and we drew at home. So, I mean, Porto, they don't seem to do very well against us in the domestic cups, do they? We do get to the final of the League Cup, though, and we do defend it. We won it last year, we win it this year, despite the fact that we go behind after 18 minutes. But all credit to the players fighting back, and we're building such a good team now. Gonzalez coming forward and plays it in for Ruiz, who just nicks it in there. The goalkeeper standing no chance whatsoever in the 40th minute, in fact. But we have to wait until the 70th minute for the winner to bring us another trophy. It's a lovely through ball. Oh, what a goal by Gonzalez. Wonderful stuff. But along the way, we beat PTM 2-1, 0-0 against Rio Ave in the group stage. I'm guessing we finished top. Benfica we beat in the semi-final 3-0, convincingly actually. And Sporting in the final. Fantastic. The Europa League, not so lucky. We do bow out at the round of 16, unfortunately. We only lost one game in the league phase against Sevilla, and that was the first game, 2-1. We beat Rangers 3-0, Rosenborg 2-1, Maccabi Haifa and Marseille 3-0 and 2-0 respectively, Club Brugge 3-2, Besiktas and FC24 1 and 3-1. Marseille, we lose the away leg 3-0, too much of a mountain to climb, despite the fact we do win 3-1 at home. But it was a 93rd minute winner by Simeone for Marseille that did it. Otherwise, it would have gone into extra time or possibly penalties. Wow. So close in Europe to getting a little bit further. But we are starting to show ourselves in Europe, though. So that's a really good sign. And we'll be there again next season. We do finish third in the table, though. Just that one loss. Newcastle finishing top. Manchester United are there as well. Sevilla did finish below us in the end. Any other big teams in there? I don't think there's any other English teams even, in fact. It was Newcastle beating Marseille 4-0. So congratulations at Newcastle. A last look at the squad then. Ruiz, 41 goals this season, 6 assists. Horta, 15 and 9. And I do believe he is being transferred out. He is leaving us in after the season. He's going to Napoli. He didn't want to sign a new contract. He wanted a massive contract. We couldn't afford it. But what a servant to the club he has been. 15 goals, 9 assists. Martins, 21 years old, 14 and 15. Gonzalez in his first season on that left-hand side, 14 and 14. Even better, Banza gets 10 goals off the bench. I mean, it's superb. 5 players in double figures. That's brilliant. Assist-wise, 4 players in double figures. Dantas with 16, Martins 15, 14 from Gonzalez and Vinicius. That's superb. We've done really well. And Garcia, 51 goals conceded in 56 games. Let's have a look how many clean sheets he'd get overall. 17 in the league this season. 26 overall. A quick look at our staffing situation. See where we're at. It's not that far off. The medical staff need a little bit of work, but they're above average now. But our coaching is pretty good and our scouting is absolutely top notch now. No net debt. Have they finished paying off now? I think just the 275,000. A transfer debt of £3 million. That is phenomenal. We've cleared our debts as well, so that's even better for us. We've done a good job here financially as well, and any money that comes in now is ours. Brilliant. So that's where we're going to leave it. Thank you very much for watching. For those that have watched this far, it is very much appreciated. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already. Smash that like button. Share the video as well. It does help the channel out an awful lot. And if you have any ideas for another rebuild, then please let me know down in the comments. It doesn't matter how obscure it is, we'll give it a go. And until the next time, thank you very much for watching. Thank you.